Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing really awesome today. I'm Lady Starfire and today I want to talk to you about crossing over rituals. Now, a crossing over ritual is our way of doing a funeral, okay? So when someone has passed and we celebrate their life, we send information and messages to them and all those other wonderful things, okay, to, do these things for our friends and loved ones. Now, there's a lot of different ways of doing them. Each person, each group, each coven, everyone has their own way. The particular witch that died has, what he or she wanted, and hopefully left it in information for people. But I want to go over some basics for you. So, maybe if you're just doing something by yourself, or you've got a group that doesn't really know exactly what to do, then, hopefully this will give you some ideas on writing your ritual. If anybody ever needs a ritual, contact me. I'll be happy to provide you, with one that'll kind of give you your basics, and you can add to or take away whatever you want. So first of all, of course, the ritual is going to involve casting a circle. You need to decide who you work with that guides spirits. Right? Some people call on Hecate and go to the west and, because she is a goddess of the underworld, and have her to open a doorway to bring forth the spirit. Now, there are other people like me that actually work with Papa Legba, who is the guardian of the doorways. He is a voodoo loa, and I was taught to work with him years ago, and I'm just comfortable working with him. I know that when I call on him to open the doorway, he is only going to allow in exactly what is, asked for, who is asked for, excuse me. I also use him to open doorways at Salem. Salem is similar to a crossing over ritual. We're just simply calling in all the spirits that go along with whoever is present, and whoever they want to call in. But today we're mostly talking about a crossing over. So if you're working with Papa Legba, then you should already have what's called a Papa stick. Okay. Now it can be any type. It depends on you and what you work with. All right. This one was carved by a dear friend of mine. A lot of people know him by Roger, some by Kale. He is an absolute awesome wood carver. Let me tell you, he does great stuff. I had several of his pieces in my store. So, but anyway, I grabbed this one because mine's at home in my altar room. So I wanted to just have something to show you that, this is something that you use if you're working with Papa Legba. Okay. Those that work with Hecate or any other goddess of the, crone, underworld, whatever, then, you should know what to use for her. Now, there are other things that you want to have as part of the ritual, okay? Of course, we always use a white candle, whether it's Samhain or a crossing over, and the candle is, for the deceased, okay, to light their way. If the deceased was a practicing witch, they should have a book of shadows, okay? Now, whether you burn this exact copy, the original, or you make a copy so that this one can be passed down to a child or grandchild or, whoever is, their next in line that they would want their stuff to go to. Either way, you're going to burn a copy of their book of shadows, okay? If they requested that the original be burned, then that's what happens. It's your conscience and up to you whether you make a copy for yourself. But we burn this so that the information goes with them to the other side. That way, they don't have to work so hard to relearn everything in the next life. You know how some people seem to just know things and be able to do things, and everything comes easy to them, where others struggle to learn the information and gain the knowledge and all that. The reason for that is because in past lives, people burn their book of shadows. They sent the information to them, okay, in the other world. That's why, most of us are cremated. If you're lucky enough to be somewhere, because back in the olden times, they would simply burn the information with the body. Nowadays, I don't know if you can get a crematorium to do it or not. I guess it'd be a matter of having to talk to them and ask, and then trust that they do it. I know the ones here actually video, so I guess that would be a way to make sure they actually do what you ask. But that way the ashes are mixed with their ashes and, I guess further the information. Now, like all rituals, you're also going to have a feast, okay? And always be sure that you make a plate of food for the deceased. Now, when you ask Papa Legba, Hecate, whoever, to allow the spirit to come in during the ritual, if that's when you're burning their information, then you do that. You can also allow all of those there to say words to them, speak to them. They can also write it in a petition, things that was important to them, that they want them to remember, themselves. So, and this is really important if you don't have their book of shadows, is have everybody write down information that they think would be important for them to remember, and then have them burn it in the cauldron. Give them time to actually speak, to the loved one out loud if they want to, silently if they want to, whatever works best for them, okay? And, spend as much time as is, right and comfortable for everyone, all right? It depends on how many people are there to how much time it's going to take. Allow, the family to have their grieving time. It's just like any other funeral. I mean, it's emotional, and, there's tears. Be sure to have plenty of tissues on hand. These are minor things that, but they're important, okay, that, people may not think of in doing this. Same thing at Samhain. Always make sure that you got plenty of tissues handy, because it is emotional. These are times of being able to actively spend time with that spirit, even though a lot of times the spirit is around, their loved ones and stuff anyway. But during this time is a time to really commune with them. And, some people see them, some people just feel them. They can feel the brush on their cheek or the hug or, various things. And then once the ritual time is over, then that's when, you send the spirit back through the veil, through the doorway with Papa Legba or Hecate or whoever, and then have them close those doors. You can still do more ritual things, whatever the person that passed asked for, or whatever the family wants. It's just like in a funeral, for anybody else, you do what is wanted. I actually did a crossing over at a funeral home. Now, that was interesting because, one, I'd never done it that way. I'd never done a crossing over that did not involve casting a circle. So I had to really rewrite my whole ritual that I usually did to make it appropriate for a funeral home. And the fact that there would be all sorts of people there, pagan and not. The person that, passed was pagan. He was a witch. So I knew I had to mostly worry about honoring him, but I didn't want to terrify all the people sitting out there. So I rewrote it. I cleared it with his wife and his mother and made sure that they were comfortable with what I was doing. So the way I handled this one was, spoke about him and his life, all the same kind of things you would do in a crossing over or a regular funeral. Okay. So, acknowledged his family, all of these things. And then at one point, and I have to tell you, it was a little funny in a way, because when I say what I had to say, which was, his spirit is here with us. And I want everyone to take a moment and acknowledge him, speak with, to him, whatever words you want to say, just like I would do in a circle. And when I looked up and looked out at everyone, because I tried not to, there were so many of them that it was like, a little overwhelming. Half of them were looking at me like, what? You want us to do what? Yeah. Because obviously this had never been said at any funeral they had ever been to. So I tried to regroup quickly and just say, for those of you, if it's more comfortable, just, close your eyes, think about him, and think of something wonderful that you remember about him, or that you would say to him if he was standing there. And then I saw people go, oh, okay. So, you have to be able to adjust in whatever you're doing. Okay. Being a high priestess, I get put in a lot of positions and being asked. I had also married him and his wife. So, that's why they came to me. When I agreed, I had no idea it was going to be at an actual funeral home. But I still wouldn't have, not done it for him. He was a good friend. And so, when you're asked to do these things, and it's part of being clergy, for those of you that think you want to be clergy, you got to understand there's a lot goes into it. And at some point, maybe I'll do a video explaining what being clergy means. It's not just being a high priestess or high priest. It depends on what state you live in and what their laws are with different things and what you can and can't do. So anyway, but, you get asked to do a lot of things, and all of them aren't always comfortable. Doing a crossing over is never a comfortable thing to do. It's an honor, just like being asked to marry someone is an honor. But at the same time, it's an emotional thing. And whether you're close to the person or you're not, if you were, family, whatever it is, you still feel all of those emotions and caring for what these people are going through, what you're going through. So, be considerate, let people take the amount of time necessary for them. Now, just like in a funeral, there comes a time that they have to go, okay, we have to continue with this. We can't stay here all day and all night, but, if they're pagan, they're going to understand. And as the ritual progresses, so will their grieving time within that. Allow everyone time to, after they've said the things they want to say to them, to also say their goodbyes to them. Okay. Just like passing in front of a, casket at a funeral. Allow each person, to say anything that they want to say. Then send them back through. Thank Papa, thank Hecate, whoever, and close the doorways. Then, allow whoever is the main people within that crossing over, whether it is a spouse, a parent, a child, whoever's there, if there's anything else that they want to say, want to be included, whatever, make sure that happens for them, because crossing over is for the person that passed away, because we're doing things for them. But like any funeral, it's largely for the family, and the loved ones, because they need to say what they need to say. It's like, it's really important. Say somebody died unexpectedly, and so there's people that didn't get to get there. They didn't get to say that I love you, and maybe there was a fight the last time that they talked, and they never got it squared away. So crossing over rituals actually give them that opportunity, to say that I'm sorry, that apology, that I love you, that, whatever. Okay. So all of these things are really, really important. And if you're the one officiating, make sure that these people get to say whatever it is, okay? If they're mad, how dare you, up and die. How dare you do whatever? Let them say it. Now is a safe time to get that out, okay? While they're surrounded with people that love them, and also understand something about the grieving process. People talk about these steps. Well, I'll tell you right now, screw those steps. Nothing made me angrier than people going, well, you should be in this step by now after my son died. And I would look at them and I go, you know what? I might go through every one of those steps in 5 minutes. So leave me alone about you and your steps. Okay. Everybody grieves different. So you have to allow them to grieve in the way that is right for them. And that means everybody within that circle. Each person has their own way. So be sure that you are doing what each person needs. If you're the one officiating, if you are doing this all by yourself, it's your loved one and there wasn't anything else, or maybe there was a funeral, but you're pagan, so that didn't satisfy your needs. So now you're going to do it your way and it's just you. That's the time for you to say whatever you want to say. Okay. It's your circle. You are the officiant. Therefore, it was your loved one. So do it how you want it. There is no right or wrong. Okay. So say what you need to say. Be angry, be happy, be sad, be mad, whatever it is. Okay. Say it all. Say it to them. Get it out. Because in the end, they're going to go to the other side, do whatever job they have to do until time to be reincarnated. Does that say they're not going to come see you? No, it doesn't. As long as you leave them the welcome sign that says, you can come back and see me anytime until you cross over, then they will. Okay. But at the same time, you're the one that has to go on in this life. So you've got to work out for you, okay, and that means each of you that are dealing with it, what helps you to heal, okay? You have to heal in whatever way is best for you, okay? With my son, I know he's here with me, okay? I've had plenty of people that can see, that describe him to me, that have never seen my son before in their life. So I know they're seeing him and they give me messages. But the way that I deal with it, and a lot of times people think I didn't love him because when I talk about it, I'm very mechanical. Well, that's how I deal with it, So there's times I'll be like, well, you could text your mama once in a while. I know you're busy. It's my self-imposed state of denial. Am I truly in denial? No, but it's how I cope every day. Okay. So, we all have to do what helps us cope. All right. So don't let anybody tell you the right or wrong way to have a crossing over ritual, to how the right or wrong way to grieve, because there's not one. It's different for everybody. Okay. And it doesn't matter if it's your son or daughter, your child, your parent, your grandparent, your sibling, your best friend, whatever. It does not matter. The grieving is still there. Okay. The loss is there. Technically, we should be happy for them because they ain't having to live in all this crap in this world anymore that we're all in. But we're selfish. Okay. It's hard to be happy for them when we're saying, but I want them here with me. Okay. So it's that double-edged sword. We're happy for them. We're sad for us. Okay. So figure out what works best for you. Have your ritual time. Set up an altar to them in your house if you want. I have a shelf, a cabinet, like a small bookshelf that I have my son's ashes, my mother's, my daddy's, my brother's, my chow, my one of my cat's ashes, and a shed from my snake that I had. That is my memorial space. And it, on the top of it is actually all, the stuff from mine and Paul's hand fasting. So, I have this all together. So I have happiness, I have sadness. Each of the boxes my husband made for their ashes, and each one is decorated specifically for that particular person. And so, there's all kinds of ways of doing it. You don't have to buy all those expensive urns. Pick something that suits them, in that situation, if you have a choice. So anyway, I hope all of this kind of helps you. If you've ever had to do a crossing over or ever think you will do one, leave me a comment, hit that like button. Let me know, maybe how you do things. Ask questions if there's something, that you need clarification on. So leave me a comment. Let me know if you need help with something. If you're needing to plan one, you need some more information, leave me a comment. You can message me on Facebook. Contact me any way that you like. And I will be more than happy to help you any way I can. Once again, if you need a copy of a ritual to kind of help you along, let me know. I'll be happy to send you one. And then, you can make whatever changes you need to it. Okay. So, just remember that how you celebrate the life of a loved one is how you do it. There's no right or wrong. Okay. Just remember that. All right. And don't forget, hit the like, subscribe if you hadn't, and please, please, please share my videos. Somebody out there needs this information that's not going to find it if you don't share it. Okay. So anyway, smash all the buttons, and thank you for watching. And I appreciate all of you. I love you. And until the next video, blessed be.